were you when you heard the news of his passing? Man, where were you?
I was at mom's house and I was knocked out, and my sister comes running up to me. She was like, "Yo," because she was like, "Yo, look what happened to your man." She came up to me and showed me the the blog site and stuff, and I was like, the first thing that came to my mind was I wanted to see what happened, because I knew he looked bad when the last time I saw him. Well, the last time everybody saw him, everybody saw that video, of him being in the hospital, and I was like, I'm like, then I remember he barely came to dialysis. I said, if this is a kidney problem, I know why this is happening. So I wanted to make sure it wasn't nothing else, but it was exactly what I said. He died of kidney failure. But he had kidney failure since 2015. So what does that tell you? It's 2021. That means he went off, he went off, he went on, he went off. And he caught up to him.
Wow.
So
but when you saw that video that that was shared, did that, was you surprised?
No, wasn't that surprised. If it would have been something else, that would have been surprising. But I had an idea. I wasn't sure, but when I looked on Wikipedia, it just confirmed that I was right. So I already knew,
Okay.
But I already knew that, what was going on. But
yeah,
it really didn't. It was, how somebody keep doing something and you tell them, no matter how cool you are with them, you tell them, if you don't stop, this is going to happen to you.
Yeah.
How do you feel when it actually happens? That's the thing that you're really asking me, because it's not like he wasn't told. He was told by numerous people. I was there.
Okay. Well, was his family in his life? Did they ever talk about his family?
I have no clue. He never really talked about that.
Okay.
He talked about his daughter, but that's just about it. He
Were they close?
Really, don't know. I really don't know. He talked about him, because I would talk about my son, and the fact that my kid is half Japanese and his daughter's half Japanese. And that's what we would talk about the most. And he saw that shit, he laughed his head off and said, shit, my daughter's half Japanese. So at first I thought he was BSing until I saw a video with his daughter. He had a video with his daughter, and I'm presuming his daughter's mother was in his video. Wow. I'm just assuming. I forgot what video it was, but it was a video when he's like beatboxing and he's beating on a thing. Yeah, I believe. I'm not sure, but I remember him telling me that his daughter was half Japanese. We was in our own car ride going to dialysis, and he was telling me how his daughter was half Japanese, because I told him my son was half Japanese.
Did you guys ride together a lot, heading to dialysis?
When he would come. Yeah, when he would show up. Yeah. But, that's just about it.
Yeah.
But that's just when he would show up and stuff. But if he didn't show up, sometimes he'll miss like I gotta be honest with you. Black was he was a low-key guy. Mainly kept himself, you know. I just bring shit out of people.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a real low-key guy, you know. So, you know, but besides that, he never really got into the whole family thing. Never told me what was going on with anything, you know. Unless I asked him, but you know, I really didn't get into that because sometimes certain people just leave. You got to leave certain disclosure for people and stuff. You know, certain things are just off limits. Because if I don't like being asked about certain things in my life, I'm not going to ask you about certain things in your life. The things that I ask you is the same thing that if you ask me, I would tell you, and I'll be straight up with you. You know, but if I can't straight up with you, I'd rather not ask you those questions. You know, because everybody have a right to privacy. You know, that's just how I operate. You know, so certain things I just didn't ask him. Certain things I did. You know, but he really wasn't like secretive that much. He was quiet, but he wasn't secretive. He told me it was none of my goddamn business. I understand, but he never really told me that. He was almost like an open book, you know, when we talked.
It seemed as if you all had a lot in common, especially with the music business.
No, he was more successful. I wasn't successful. He was more successful. You know, I mean, I did an internship and stuff, you know, and I got lucky there, you know, but and be honest with you, I don't even remember even telling him that I used to work for Def Jam. I don't remember telling him that. You know, I figured like he'll find out somehow, like fucking run into Cameron or all three of us will run into each other. He'll be like, hey, you know him? Yeah, I know him. You know, he used to work at Def Jam and find out that way, but I never really told him anything. You know, I never, because it was, I'm sure he gets a lot, because I'm sure he gets a lot of that. You know, I'm sure he probably tired of that. He'd rather just do his time and then get off and stuff and talk about like, I didn't want to get into business too much. Okay. A friend is a friend, you know. Like people who haven't been in, I learned one thing. When you keep away from business with rappers, they tend to trust you a little more. And they tend to open up to you a little more. You know, with rappers or singers or anything, anybody in the entertainment business. You start talking to them regularly, like a friend, you know, or they just know you as a wild guy and they know you as a cool guy. You know, they tend to open up to you a lot more. You start talking about business and money and like put me on, they tend to shy away. They'd be like, fuck, I gotta deal with this shit again. You know? Yeah. Why? Because when I was working at Def Jam and I would get asked, yo, can you bring my demo up? Or people say, yo, I want to spin in your face. After a while, you get tired of that shit. Like, yo, I just want to do my job, you know, get these records out, and then you get paid and then move on, or what have you, whatever you do, you know. So, especially when you're in a position like that, like dialysis, kind of want to leave that shit alone, you know. Any little snippet, be grateful for it. But large sequence or situations and stuff like that, you want to talk about that. You know, you're there for dialysis. Be a friend. Be a friend. Believe me, they come to you for business. You know, then you might, oh, I know X, Y, and Z. Well, how can you tell me? I said, well, we in dialysis. I mean, that's how I would handle that if I was if that ever, you know, came upon. You know, but it never came about, you know. We talked about music, but we talked about from a fan point. You know, I never like talking business in situations like that. It just seems how would I put it?
Cool.
It seems leechy,
Yeah.
especially when you're talking to somebody who's now. It just seems very leechy, you know. So
Yeah. Well, just based on my experience with you, I
mhm.
can, I can, I can say that he, Black Rob, appreciated his friendship with you, because I appreciate um, our friendship and getting to know you as well.
Thank you,
Um,
brother.
yeah, no, absolutely. You're one of those folks that, like you said, you know, you have this natural energy and you attract people.
Mm-hmm.
And the time spent, you know, you're always cracking jokes,
Mm-hmm.
and that helps speed up the process and the
Yeah,
time analysis and
it
so
makes it a
forth.
lot. It makes, not to cut you off, but it just makes it a lot easier. Everybody walking around with a afraid of, you know, what is that going to do to you?
Yeah,
You know, you won't. You know, that's going to bring down your spirit. It's like, look at your face, chill the fuck up. You know, you're dealing with people who are sick, who's got life that's basically been ruined because of this situation, because of this kidney situation. Cheer up, laugh, have fun. You know, make the best of it.
mm.
Yeah, yeah.
uh,
You know, instead of running around feeling sorry for yourself, you know, do this, be done. It's only 3 hours. 3 hours is painful, especially when you catch cramps, and you will catch cramps. And them cramps, it ain't gonna be not like the one that you regular and you drink some Gatorade and the cramp is over. No, you know, them cramps is serious. You
yeah,
know, so you just try to make the best out of it. You know, make the best out of it, man. You're gonna be miserable, miserable. So that's why I try to line people up. You know.